Welcome back, everyone, and thanks for being with us. Struggling to have a child is more common than people might realize. The World Health Organization, in fact, reports roughly 1 in 6 people globally are affected by infertility. That is a condition where someone cannot get pregnant after 1 year of trying to conceive.
This weekend, people who are looking for answers or guidance can tune into a free event and hear from experts firsthand. So joining us now to talk about the free Virtual Infertility Awareness Summit is Heather Tankersley. She is the board president for the Fertility Foundation of Texas. Heather, thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So talk about this summit. Why did the foundation and the groups that have come together to put this on feel that this was important for people?
So one of our foundational components, I guess you would say, is that we really want to bring awareness to it, kind of take the stigma away, and it's been getting better over the years. But just that, so that's one of our tenets is awareness, and to get more people talking about it, more people, understanding that it's not a trendy Hollywood, thing, which people used to think. I feel like it's gotten better. And then also to provide donations and revenue for grants, because we give out grants here locally in the Central Texas area for patients going through infertility.
Yeah, we want to circle back and ask more about
Sure.
the foundation's work specifically in just a moment, but we'll also mention that summit is happening on Saturday, so we just want to put that in people's ears for now. But how important is it for people or couples or individuals who are experiencing infertility to have a space to be able to have some of these conversations, which can be very tough and personal?
Yeah, well, so I went through it. I mentioned before, we went through like 5 rounds, and so we were there. And the thing is that you don't know what you don't know until you're facing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times you don't want to talk to a friend or, because it's just very personal, and you don't want to be judged. And so there's all these things that you're feeling. So to have a bunch of experts and people that have either been through it, touched by it, or serve that community, I think is important for people.
Yeah.
So talk to us again about, we've talked about some of the different areas of expertise. This summit is not just one person, it's not just one lecture. There's a long list of different experts. So what are some of the topics that people will hear if they tune into the summit?
Sure, so I'm really excited just because we cover the basic what you would expect in a summit, or in an educational event like this. But we have the founder of Resolve, who's like one of the biggest networks in the country. She's going to be talking about kind of the state of infertility and all of that. We've got somebody speaking on AI technology. AI is everywhere right now, and this is how they're using it in infertility and in the lab, and kind of some cutting edge technology and research and robotics and things of that nature. We've got somebody speaking on policy. So he's working with the White House on bringing IVF coverage to insurance policies, has been working with the drug coverage and the drop in the cost for medication. We've got fertility preservation. We see so many people talking about, well, when you're young, freeze your eggs so you can use them. And there's so many advances in that space as well. And then mental health and funding. How do you pay for this? Because it's expensive. And how do you get your insurance? So lots of cool different topics. So it's not just a health and wellness summit, if you will.
Yeah, well, we want to focus on funding in particular, because that's where the foundation really steps in. So as we mentioned, the Fertility Foundation of Texas is organizing all of this. That formed back in 2013, so it's been more than a decade of doing some work. Remind us again about the support it provides and what it aims to really do.
So we realized that the cost is expensive, right? And the struggle's real. So our main goal in the foundation is to kind of ease that portion of the burden that people have. And so if we can come in and say, look, we can help take off some of this part of the process. And so our measure of success is not like a baby on the other end, although we obviously love those stories, but rather access to care, because so many of the doctors are like, infertility is a curable condition, and in many, many cases, provided that you have access to the right care. So our whole mission with that regard is to make sure that we're giving as many people access to the care that they need to have their family.
And that's to even give direct grants to people to help cover some of those costs.
100%.
Yeah.
So in the Central Texas area, we award grants twice a year. We have a spring/summer and a fall/winter cycle, and we give grants up to $10,000.
Wow.
I do want to ask, we've talked about the issue and it affects everyone differently, but since you've been through it personally, do you have any message for folks who are maybe planning to tune into the summit, but any message right now for them who are in this really tough season of their lives?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard because you just, like I said before, you just don't know until what you don't know until you're getting there. I think it's find a network of people that you can open up to, that you can talk to. Have those conversations with your doctors. I know sometimes you're just like, well, I only have 3 minutes, so I would get a Google Notepad or on my phone, and it's okay. I have these questions. Let's go through them real quick. And they want to answer your questions, but every single cycle is different. So I know it gets scary and frustrating and lonely. And I think just have hope and put your trust in the people that you're working with and find some people to lean on.
Yeah.
Real quickly here, we will put links to how to attend the summit and all of that, but any message for folks who are thinking, okay, I may tune into this, how do they get plugged in?
Yeah, I mean, I would say absolutely come. We do have an option for only like a donation of, I think it's $27, that you can get all the recordings. So if you're like, well, I can't be there the whole time, but really there's just going to be a lot of great information, and I encourage everyone, again, if you can't attend the whole time, to just, donate 27 and then you can listen to it after, because there's a lot of really cool topics we're covering.
Yeah, super helpful for people. Well, Heather, we appreciate you taking the time through this afternoon to talk about this, and we hope that everything goes well this weekend.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having us. We look forward to having your viewers join us.
We appreciate